It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 9 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the sneak peek that was released on Talking Dead for Season 9, Episode 10 called Omega. There are also two other sneak peeks that were released. One was the opening minutes and the other was another sneak peek that was released. I did a video talking about both of those on separate videos, so I'm not going to talk about those sneak peeks, but what I am going to talk about is the sneak peek that was on Talking Dead. Also, aside from that, there were some interesting details that were revealed for the X scars on Daryl and Michonne's backs that was revealed on Talking Dead, which I did a separate video on. You can go and check it out if you're interested. But in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the sneak peek that was released on Talking Dead and talking about whether Henry is to blame for the fair aftermath. Now, my discussion on this sneak peek is going to include comic spoilers, and I just don't see a way I can, talk about this in detail without talking about comic spoilers. So I'm going to quickly talk about what the sneak peek was, and then I'm going to jump into my actual spoiler-filled discussion about the sneak peek based on the comic source material. Before I even jump into that, I do want to share this very interesting comparison with you. So if you take a look at the left, we have issue 136 from the comic book series. The issue is called Found. In one of the recent images that were released for the next episode, Season 9, Episode 10 called Omega, they are replicating the comic cover for issue 136, which was very interesting. So we have Whispers spying on the hilltop. We have one Whisper on one side, the other on the other side. Next up, we also have issue 135 of the comic book series, Face to Face. We have in that cover Lydia with her hands tied on a chair, and we have Maggie and Jesus interrogating her. Now, in the show, they did a remix of that, but they brought that comic cover to life, which was pretty cool. We have, in the same sort of way, Lydia on a chair. We don't have her hands tied, but she's on the chair. We have Michonne and Tara interrogating her. We have Daryl on the outside of the gate. Now, let's jump into the sneak peek. So what we have in the sneak peek is a conversation between Lydia and Henry. We're going to have a long, extended conversation between Lydia and Henry, which I'm very interested to see. And we have Lydia asking about Henry's father. Henry says, "My dad's name is Ezekiel. He's the leader of another community." And Lydia asks, "What's the community's name?" And Henry says, "Kingdom." Lydia asks, "How close is it?" Henry says, "You can get there within a couple of hours or maybe a day if you're on horseback." I think that's what he says. That doesn't matter though. What's very interesting is that Henry pretty much reveals to Lydia there is another community, it's called Kingdom, and it's close by. So that pretty much puts them in danger, because now Lydia knows that there's another community out there called Kingdom, and I'm pretty sure when she gets out, when she's traded, she will share that information with Alpha and the other Whisperers. So this pretty much makes Kingdom a big target next to Hilltop. But in the sneak peek, we actually have Daryl, jumping in and getting Henry out of there before he spills too much more information. But that was a pretty interesting sneak peek. I absolutely loved how subtle it was in terms of what we're going to discuss next for the comics. But with that said, that's pretty much it. So now we're going to jump into the comic spoiler portion of this video. So this is your official spoiler warning for the comic book. Now, if you are still here, that means that you either don't care or that you've read the comics. Now, what's very interesting is that we can almost say Henry is to blame for what happens after the fair. So the aftermath of the fair. Because of course we do know the fair happens, Whispers infiltrate the kingdom, and they act as civilians, but they kidnap certain people from the fair. And what happens is that we're gonna see those people in the finale, in the Pike lineup scene, or the border scene. So this pretty much means that Henry is to blame for what happens to everyone at Kingdom, or everyone that's there for the fair. Might not necessarily be Kingdom members, but people that are there. If what I said is true, then Henry might have made a bad decision, or the worst decision in his life, one that he may never forget. But I do want to know everyone's opinions about this. What do you think about Henry sharing with Lydia about the kingdom and where it is located, roughly? That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video. If you like what you see, press like, subscribe for more content, and press the bell button to receive notifications for daily uploads. And while you're at it, check out my gaming channel, Jedi Age Gaming.